So Achilles, here we are again, back in Moldova after a year.
Yes, that's right, Sul. After a year, it's been a whole year.
So we met in February 2023 in Chisinau for the first edition of this EIA project, More EU in Moldova. And since then, we haven't stopped keeping in touch.
Because you've been now for almost a year living here in Moldova, right?
I decided to come back to Moldova and to work here because I enjoyed our stay for a week so much that I could not just leave Moldova and never come back. So yeah, I came back here, worked, and I've been here for now 9 months. And so I wanted to ask you, so when you came back to Moldova a couple of days ago, what was the feeling you had when stepping out of the airplane and stepping foot back to Moldova?
Moldova, before visiting it for the first time, it felt like something other, something different. But ever since I visited, it felt like home. So in a way, right now, it felt like coming back to home, and that was a really warm feeling.
That's nice, that's nice. And what did you miss the most then about home, about Moldova?
I mean, a very, very important part is the culture. Moldovan people are very warm, even if sometimes on the very beginning it appears otherwise. When you get and talk to people, it's amazing how close they are, how interested they are in hearing your story and telling you theirs. So I believe this was the most important.
Okay.
And how about you? Did you find it easy to assimilate? Were people welcoming?
Very, very easy. The only issue was the language, because I spoke nor Russian and nor Romanian. So in the beginning it was a bit tricky finding an apartment, and very often the people didn't speak English, so it was like silent visits where the person would just show his hand to the kitchen and do like this, like, you understood what it is, here is the toilets, you understood what it is, and no words, and just like, okay, good, we're right to each other. So that was the tough part. But then Romanian is a Latin language, French is as well, so I took some classes and slowly picked up the Romanian, and then it's extremely easy. I mean, you've tasted the Moldovan food, it's just amazing. Chisinau, as you experienced, was extremely easy.
Yeah, so of course you always like to say, and you said it again now, that Chisinau, it's small distances are here and there, it's easy to get from one place to another, but you actually have a very interesting hobby, which is, even though things are close to Chisinau, if I'm right, you bike around Moldova?
I do bike around Moldova because I brought my bike here because I think it's a very good way to explore a country differently through unexplored path.
It really surprised me when we had visited the region of Cahul,
yes,
with the European program.
Yeah.
And it was really nice to see some projects that were funded by the European Union, the EU for Cahul regional scheme. And it really surprised me because, Moldova is a country we don't know a lot about. When we do hear about it, it's almost always Chisinau, but there is always so much more. And I really think that this regional characteristic of Moldova is really important that we highlighted.
Absolutely, and it's something which we got to see on the bus on the way to Cahul, but which you can see even more when cycling, is that these regions are quite, like, Moldova is already pretty, unfortunately, unknown to the rest of Europe, but these regions even more so, and it's extremely sad because they are absolutely beautiful. Moldova is lucky to have this black soil, which is extremely fertile, the same as in Ukraine. So literally anything grows here, and in the spring, in the summer, all of the countryside is green, like resplendently green, with a lot of fruit trees. You have strawberries, you have apples, you have, of course, grapes. And it gives a whole other character to this countryside. And again, we talked about the food, and in this season, it's just amazing because any food you would taste, the vegetables, the fruits, and the juices we made out of this are just delicious.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I mean, if there is one thing that as a Greek I can really comment on Moldova is that the food is absolutely gorgeous. Um,
What would be your favorite Moldovan food?
You know, this is a difficult one. I feel like I really always like things that are unique. So I was really excited to find out that in Moldova, eating pig's ears is a delicacy.
That's true.
That was very interesting to me. And you know, when you get over that small barrier that you're eating a pig's ear and you're willing to try it, when you deconstruct it, that it's an ear, you just focus on the part that it's a meat. It's actually really tasty. So yeah, I remember drinking and having fun with it, eating, and it was really tasty. Yeah.
Okay, that's. I didn't cross that barrier yet, but I will, for sure, ask you some advice to to overcome it. I would say that my go-to food in Moldova would be the sarmale and a bit of mamaliga and smetana. Nothing beats it.
It's really amazing. We think of Moldova as something different, but even the food, it's so similar to Europe, to the European Union countries.
You prefer sarmale with grape, like vineyard leaves, or with cabbage leaves?
I mean, actually, we have them in Greece as well, and we do have them with the wine leaves.
Okay.
So I guess this feels more familiar. Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay. I'm seeing a lot of companies that are doing trade between Moldova and Poland, and this is amazing. The interconnectedness that we are able to have with the trade agreement and at the same time the liberalization of some border controls is really beneficial, I think, mutually, right?
No, of course. And what was your take of the school visits that we just had this week? On the Moldovan youth and on its positioning towards the EU.
It always feels really inspiring. I'm very positively surprised every time. Every time I say to myself, I know how capable Moldovan youth is. I see that they speak amazing English. They're really interested to learn. They come and they're excited to play our game about the European Union capitals. They play because they want to get more things from the more things that advertise the European Union. They want more about the European Union, and I find that amazing.
They want more European Union in Moldova.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And how about you? How is it talking? Because you started learning Romanian as well. So in some of the school visits, you actually talked in Romanian. Was that stressful?
I tried to speak Romanian. It was extremely stressful. But I feel that when speaking Romanian, you get also to another type of relationship with the students I interacted with, because they see that I'm making an effort, and maybe they appreciate that effort, and then we get into a better conversation, a more real or intimate conversation about the topics that we want to discuss. So it's definitely
it's certainly been very fulfilling for both of us. So one last question is, would you see yourself living here in the future?
I think I would definitely see myself living here after this. I don't know how many months it's been now, but I have absolutely not regretted a second of this experience, and it's only getting better week by week. And as small as Moldova may look like, there is so much to discover about it, and have a lot of friends who've been working here for 2 years and live extremely frustrated because they were not able to discover everything they wanted about Moldova. And it's a country which is in mutation, on the movement towards the EU, and I absolutely would love to be able to participate, to help in this perspective and in this movement of Moldova towards the EU.
Well, the same is true for me, I have to say. I feel like Moldova is currently in a parthenogenesis, exactly as you said. I see a lot of the images of how Greece was during the very big boom in the 60s and 70s. I see a lot of elements in Moldova. And, you know, it fills me with a lot of tenderness to see all the processes and the attempts that people are making. it's really, really inspiring, and I think that I can see also myself contributing in the future.
So I guess we can give ourselves a rendezvous in Moldova in a couple of months of years, and maybe sit again and discuss about
Yeah.
the evolution of this relationship with between Moldova and EU.
Yes, and hopefully soon in the future, we won't be saying that we're in Moldova,
Yes.
but they're in the European
In the
Union.
EU. That's very true. Deal?
Deal.
Perfect.
Yes. Hey.